Rasputin! Enough horseplay, Rasputin. Destroy him.
Sup folks, today we're gonna be talking about a game that I always wanted to play but couldn't. It's called, you know what it's called, you searched it and you read the title. It's called Psychonauts. For people that don't know, it's a game that was released in 2005 by Double Fine Productions and directed by Tim Schafer. And I have to say, just wow. Anyways, in this game you play as Rasputin. Not this Rasputin, that Rasputin. A kid who escaped his family's circus to go to a summer camp for psychic children, where they can learn how to use their abilities and become Psychonauts, which is a group of psychics that defend the world from, I don't know. They say that they're secret agents, but I have no idea what they fight. But then the brains of the other kids are taken and you have to investigate. The gameplay consists of platforming and solving puzzles. Well, I say puzzles, they're more like a bunch of really well made fetch quests, but hey, I'm not complaining. I cannot stretch just how much do I love this game. It's probably top 5 favorite games I've ever played. Let me tell you, in this game, you solve problems by going into other people's minds, and I love this idea. Basically, what this does is that it makes it so that each level is fully affected by the character's mind and their mental state. So let's say you go into Agent 9's brain, and you see it's tidy and kinda blank really. But when you go into the mind of one of the people with mental illnesses, it's weird and unique based on their illness. Throughout the game you pick several psychic abilities and they all feel nice to use and useful. But my complaint with that is that you have only 3 abilities out at a time. And if you want to change, you have to pause for a bit. I do hope that in the sequel they give you a way to have more than 3 abilities out at a time. The worlds all have a gimmick to mix things up for you, like changing the level or using painting, and so on and so on and so forth. The presentation in this game is amazing in my opinion. Every world feels unique and nice and some thought was put into it. My favorite looks wise is the Bonaparte world. It's built like a board game and the board game is going between the owner of the brain and one of his ancestors, who is, well, you guessed him, is Napoleon Bonaparte, and it has that Tim Schafer vibe to everything, from the comedy to the character designs, and I really like his style. It's cartoony yet it's so vibrant with personality, except for Broken Age. Fuck that game. The way money works in this game isn't that fun for me, because it feels more like a mandatory thing rather than something on the side because of this thing called, which is supposed to be this device for collectibles, except later in the game it becomes needed for progression, which was a tad bit annoying for me at first because I tried doing it in the normal way, you know, breaking stuff, and unsurprisingly it didn't work. So a tip if you are going to buy this game, and I highly recommend it, get the arrowhead detector. By design it's supposed to be the way to get arrowheads, so can't shit on Tim for that. The bosses are nice by visual design, but some of them are lacking in terms of gameplay. Although it is really interesting because of the effect the minds have over them, and how it's the manifestation of that person's mental problem, and I really like that. But by far the best mechanic story-wise is the vaults. Simply what the vaults are is that there are persons tucked away secrets, and it's the only collectible in the game that I openly try to pursue, like this one. As you can see, I really like this game, and I see it as a masterpiece of art. But you know what is really depressing about this? It was a commercial failure. Yes, this masterpiece of a game is a failure. It only sold 100,000 copies when it launched, which is something that happens to a lot of great games, like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline, which is a game that I really want to play and review one day. Good thing that these games are getting sequels because of their cult following, and weirdly enough, that is one of the reasons why I review games. It's so that gems don't go unnoticed and then a few years later, after the studio, or in this case the publisher's demise, people come out and say, it was a hidden gem. It's like, fuck off. And so if you haven't felt that already, I highly recommend it. But the build I played on, by the way it's the PS4 one, had a crash, and by the end the audio got so fucked up, it's just listen to this.
Right, that guy, right there. We endeavor to build strong minds here, with the power to hit things, to see things, to burn things. But it's a special quality of your heart. Not.
So if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel for videos every time I feel like it. Goodbye.